Hey, you know something? Of all the things that I have trouble with,
Uh-huh.
cussing is about the worst one of them. I've cussed like a sailor or a drunken sailor
From time to time.
since I was about 12 years old. My grandma used to whoop my hind end and all kind of wash my mouth out with soap. And it's the first one thing and then another.
And still you did it over and over.
Yeah, I just cussed and cussed and cussed. I guess that's one of my ways of rebelling. I don't know.
That's exactly.
But anyway, I've always been a big cusser, and that's one thing I pray for the Lord to take that cussing away from me, and He's yet to do it. But yeah, you know, with most things you got to have self-control, and that's where I have a lot of trouble with my self-control. I want that instant gratification, and you know, I've done a lot of studying, y'all, and I think that only children. I think that only children are a different breed. And the reason I say that is, only children, okay, you think about this for a minute. If you're the only young'un in the house, the only one, and I was raised by an old woman, so I was the only young'un. Okay, when you're growing up, you're the prettiest thing in the world.
We were both raised only children
yep,
by older women.
Yep, all right, and you're the smartest thing. You ain't nobody can read like you. Ain't nobody can spell like you. Oh, you're funny. Oh, you can sing. Oh, this and that. Well, when you're developing, that shit gets stuck in your head. That stuff gets stuck in your head, and you think, well, heck, for all that's true. And then you go out and you meet kids, you know, maybe during the elementary school or something like that, you stayed on the honor roll all the time and you done real good. And, you know, you're getting all that praise. Well, and then you have a little cousin or something that comes along and they start getting some of the attention. Well, you start doing some of the same things that you've been doing your whole life, and suddenly you're in trouble for it. And all right, and then let's fast forward and get on out of all that. All right, now you're la-da-da-da-da, you growed up, you've gone to high school. Well, it's been my observation that most only children, where we grow up so lonesome, most of us, we'll do anything that we can to impress people and make friends. Because the only thing I ever wanted was to either go stay at somebody's house or have somebody come and stay at my house. Well, I wasn't allowed to go to nobody else's house. Heck, I wasn't even allowed to go out in the yard on a bicycle till I was 13 years old. You know, all my friends come riding down the road, and I had to stretch about, I don't know, about from here to that downwood over there. And I could ride down the front of the yard, and I'd try to keep up with them. And they'd go on around the road, and I'd slide it too, because if I went out of that yard,
you was in trouble.
I was in big trouble. I mean, that was a cut-you-on-switch kind of offense.
That's because of the older.
Yeah, well, she was scared to death everything I was going to do. I got hurt. Well,
my mom was the same way.
Well, then when I got older and got on out in the world, when I finally did get turned loose, it wasn't. It was over. It was over because I was always trying to impress people and always trying to do things, you know, and so I started getting into some of the wrong stuff.
Impressing the wrong people.
Impressing the wrong people, and I made it my life's work to impress them people. More than I tried to impress anybody else, my own daddy, my mom, and any of them. But I don't know what all that means, but
I think we all do it to a degree growing up.
I think so. But I think only children,
especially.
You know, y'all can let me know down in the comments, you know, do y'all think that only children, most of us are little shits, you know, because I don't know how to explain it to y'all. If you got brothers and sisters, then evidently that balances y'all out somehow. You're more apt to go out and do better in the world and all this kind of stuff, and you know, you're not scared. You don't have social anxiety and all that kind of stuff.
Because you raised 3 boys.
Well, yeah,
where I can't because I have an only child.
Yeah. Well, I raised 3 boys. One of them's gone to heaven. He got killed in 2010 in a truck wreck, and he was 20 years old.
He was the middle.
Yeah, he's my middle boy. His name is Brandon. And then I got Billy and Morgan, and they both thrive. They're doing great. None of them done drugs. My oldest boy's a school teacher and a wrestling coach. And then my youngest boy works down to college. He's on the groundskeeping crew, and he loves it, makes good money. So if that's what that boy wants to do, hell for it, let him do it, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't adjust that well, you know. And you know, and now look at here. Let me be first and foremost about this. Any decision I made.
Exactly.
Nobody twisted my arm. Nobody stuck it on me and said, boy, you gonna do this or we're gonna beat you up. No. I done it all myself. I done it myself. So, you know, maybe addiction is a disease, but I think I think it could also be called a disease of bad decisions.
Oh yeah.
So you know. But anyway, where was I? I kind of rambled there a little bit. But anyway,
Only children.
yeah, you know, kind of take notice of how only that people that you know has been only or that are only children act in y'all's lives, and let me know in the comments if it's just something I'm making up because I'm trying to make an excuse for some of my behavior or something.
Well,
but I ain't never
maybe
been
a
one to
little.
do that. Now you can ask the old lady if I do something, I
He takes blame for things he didn't even do.
I've been known to do that. Yeah.
I know that.
like that time. Let me tell y'all good, and then
Come
I'll
on,
let y'all.
guys.
I'll tell y'all good, and then I'll let y'all go with seed.
Keep walking until I get over the
My
road.
ex-wife, the one that's the mother of my children,
Go on, Rose.
me and her finally, after many years of being idiots together, we finally decided we wanted to be idiots apart, and which was the best move. One of the best moves that ever made was meeting this girl behind the camera. But that's for another video. But anyway, so for a little while, I was still getting wild there when she first left.
Well, your marriage was over before I came around.
Yeah, it was long gone
I
over.
gotta
Yeah.
clarify that part.
Yeah, but anyway, so for a while there, she tried to keep me in her life and the dude that
She left for
left me for. Well, hell, she was coming up and picking me up, and that's coming up, and we'd getting drunk together, and you know this, and that, and this. Well, he got in some trouble, and the feds was looking for him. Well, just so happened, me and him wore about the same kind of hat.
It was
That hat I
over,
usually got. This is my work hat, so I don't wear my other hat to work. But anyway,
It was over like growing weed.
well, it was overgrowing weed and this and that. I mean, it was over all kinds of stuff, but it's mostly overgrowing weed. But anyway, so I was with them. Well, I was with her, and like I said, he and I wore about the same kind of hat. Well, in the back seat of the car, we had 10 trash bags full of homegrown pot. Now, this is before they legalized it in Virginia. So we had 10 trash bags, just stuffed plumb full. Well, anyway, he was hiding out in a he's dead and gone now, so I can tell these stories. But anyway, and I had nothing to do with that. He died of prostate cancer. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, he was up in the mountains in a homemade teepee that I helped him build, and it was his. But anyway, so the feds were after him. Let me get back to my story. The feds were after him. So I was riding down the road with her. We pull in at this wide spot. Well, all of a sudden, they come from everywhere. They were screaming that dude's name. Get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. I said, I ain't him. They said, get on the ground. So anyway, about that time, this big old fed, man, heck, he was that much taller than me. He come over and grabbed me up and soused me down in a mud hole. And I was having to turn my face sideways to keep from drowning, but he threw me in the cuffs and stuff like that. And then he finally got me back up, and water was running all up in my hat and my face. And I looked right at him and I said, I told you I ain't him. And he looked at me right good, and he held that dude's picture up, and he looked at me, and he looked at the picture, he looked at me, he looked at the picture, looked at me, he looked at the picture, and he finally said, this ain't him. Well, anyway, there was a one-armed cop there. He had a funny hand. He was a Washington County cop. He had a funny hand, and he done drawed down on me. I mean, so there I was. It wasn't even the right dude, man. The feds had me down in a mud hole trying to drown me.
That's because you're somewhere you shouldn't have been.
Well, I was absolutely somewhere I shouldn't have been. But anyway, I don't know what this has got to do with all the only child stuff and everything like that. But it was just a story I thought I'd throw in there. But anyway, to make a long story short, they never did find him. They had to let me go. I eventually stopped running around in that situation, and I gave my life to the Lord. And
To
since
me.
and Lee, I gave my life to Leah and the Lord. Yes, that's right. And since then, although it's not been perfect to any stretch of the imagination, but her and I, we have a similar sense of humor. We have a similar. I don't have any college and like that. She was a registered nurse, so she's got some college and stuff like that. But we've read a lot of the same books.
And listen to the same
And
music.
well, music's mostly what done it. But anyhow, I made the right decision there, and since I've stopped using drugs like I was using them before, since I've stopped, I mean, I still like to burn a little herb, and I just don't know. That's between me and the Lord. He ain't told me yet that was a bad thing to do.
It helps you.
So,
It helps you focus.
well, when the Lord tells me it's a bad thing to do, because I hear His voice.
It's better than chemicals.
Yeah, and when He tells me it's a bad thing to do, then I'll quit. But until the Lord does, it helps me to keep my others, it helps me to stay level, y'all.
It helps you stay on task.
Yeah, and so let's see,
It's
what else?
better than taking Adderall.
Oh, I can't take Adderall. Every time I take speed, I strip my clothes off. So I don't guess y'all needed to know that. But anyway,
I was just saying, weed is a much better
the
option.
The best decision I ever made, bar none, was to commit to the Lord. I'd been baptized. First time I got baptized, I was 12 years old. But the last time I got baptized, we had to break the ice in the river, and they baptized me they broke the ice and baptized me right there.
Cool.
Well, I strayed away even after that time. So I've yet to be baptized again for my commitment this time. I don't know if you need to be, but I just feel like it's something I need to do. So sometime this summer, I'm gonna try to get baptized again. And maybe after that, the Lord will tell me, okay, you don't need your herb no more. So here's the point to all this ramble I've done this evening.
But
Listen.
One thing is we don't spend any money on herb.
Oh no, I grow everything we smoke.
It's all personal use.
Right, yeah. But the main thing I learned out of all this is if I would have listened to the Lord sooner, my life would have been a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad I listened now because my life's pretty darn good.
Yes.
So pay attention to what the Lord says, and I'm done hollering at y'all this evening. Once again, we're Appalachian Homegrown. We appreciate y'all listening and watching, and y'all pray for us, and we'll pray for y'all.
Peace.